Auth66. I think we're day 36. Doesn't really matter. I'll make sure the right number's in the post. So I think I'll continue next week with more of the operations information, just kind of going over some things that I usually, it's loud in the office today because it's Friday. If you hear any extra noise, that's what it's from. But anyway, I'll continue with operations information next week. But because it's Friday, I thought I'd do something fun. If you have been paying attention to the comments part, or if you've been following along this series, you might have noticed YouTube doesn't love me. YouTube doesn't love the faces I make. Or maybe it does a little bit too much and it just decides to like choose naturally the most ridiculous thumbnail. And I'm really hoping it picks a good one for today because I'm kind of committed to leaving it to whatever YouTube chooses. And somebody was like, oh, trying to be helpful, you can change that, right? And I'm like, oh, I know, just in case you were wondering, I'm aware. But the thing about it is that whatever thumbnail it picks, I kind of love if it's ridiculous, because I make those faces. They're part of who I am. And I obviously don't have like special lighting. I mean, I've got a window to the left of me. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just propping my phone up on a box. I don't even have like a proper tripod. I'll get there eventually. The point of these videos though is not really perfection. It's to set a goal, commit to it, and use your voice to say things that matter to you, or that you think might be interesting to people, or just that you want to share. I might have gotten a little bit further in terms of letting people know that I appreciate them, or sharing like more personal sides of myself, but kind of involved in all of that is that authenticity of like, this is who I am. And sometimes I'll write down like little notes to make sure that I cover some of the stuff that I want to cover. It's not a script though. Nothing is scripted, and it's all from my brain, my mind, or from things that are happening around me. And I feel like I could have like a very curated approach to this. I don't really do that for myself. When I curate things in my life, it's not stuff like who I am, right? I am who I am. I might give you different layers of that based on how much I trust you, but I am always going to be who I am. And that's the weird faces, that's the eye rolls, that's the scrunching of the nose, whatever that is. For those who know me, I'm just a little bit eccentric. And I feel like if these videos are called auth, like as an author, the goal, is to be a publisher, is to be out there creating. But for me, the auth also stands for authenticity. It's got to be authentic to who I am. And, that's why I leave the thumbnails alone. And it doesn't mean that if you change your thumbnails that you're not authentic. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for me, that feels like an authentic choice. That feels like something that is part of who I am and would, fit with what it is that I usually say or how I present myself. I do much the same when I go up on stage. Like if you were to ever look at my presenter notes in any of the presentations that I've made, they're like points that I want to hit, but they're not a script. Scripting for me feels kind of wrong. I mean, it's great to have those points to fall back on so I can stay on task or on focus, but I don't know if I sound my authentic self when I'm speaking from a script. So that's never my goal. I've heard lots of people though that do and sound great. So again, that's not judgment attached to that. It's just my approach. So here I am, weird thumbnails and all, enjoying a Friday. And hopefully that everybody who is American on my list had a wonderful 4th of July. Maybe you're still off. Maybe you're out adventuring. Whatever it is, I hope you have a little bit of fun on your Friday too.